Alex, are you religious?
No.
Then why are you praying?
Prayer isn't just for religious people.
No, not at all. We definitely thought that prayer was just for religious people because everyone who's religious prays, right? It's in most or all religions, I don't know, but you don't have to be religious. You don't have to associate prayer with religion or praying to a god.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual practice. It's totally like, okay, I'm acknowledging the people that I care about and I'm gonna pray for them, right?
Exactly. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So the only time I would pray was when I was at the porcelain throne. It was when I was in trouble and I was like, oh, retching up, and I was like, oh God, like, get me out of this one. Yeah, I never really thought of prayer as like something that I do now, and what I use prayer for is to acknowledge the people I care about, right? I pray every morning for like my grandma and her eyeball, which has been bad lately, you know what I mean? I pray for my grandfather and his dizziness. I pray for my mom's anxiety. I pray for Amy, right? And I pray for others who have asked me to pray for them, but not only that, but I pray for people who, you know, who I've harmed in the past or who I feel sorry for. Like, it's a very strong acknowledgement, you know? Prayer isn't really religious to me. It's about acknowledging other people. It's about getting out of myself, right? I think it's important for me to include it in my morning. It sets me off on the right path, and it's been a big part of my spirituality. So I'm actually curious, when did you start praying?
So I only started praying like 3-4 months ago. Before that, I did like metta meditations. So metta meditation is when you think of somebody, right? And you focus on that person and kind of put all your love and your energy into that person and that you're thinking about during your meditation, right?
Yeah.
So that's just like the focus of your meditation. So I feel like that's very similar to prayer. So if there's anything specific happening, like this hair, I'll pray about that. I'll like think of something and then I'll be like, oh, and then I'll just do like a little prayer there and then, like in my head. So rather than like set aside specific time to pray, if things come to me, like obviously Alex, you've got your allergies and your nose is really bad recently. So if I hear you like sniffling or struggling, then I'll be like, oh, make it a bit better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prayer works the best for me right now. It's just when things come to me, I'll just say like a little prayer in my head.
Yeah.
How do you pray?
So when I pray, I just get quiet, and sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it can be as simple as when I'm in the shower. It's an acknowledgement, right? So it's not like I'm down on my hands and knees and I'm like, God, please give me this, or it's just putting it out into all of this beautiful universe.
Yeah, so when you do pray, are you picturing anything? Or do you...
I try to picture their face. I try to picture, like, when I pray for my mom, I always see my mom smiling. Or, like, when I pray for you, I always see you smiling and, like...
So you don't pray to, like... Because I know that you believe in God, not obviously if you've watched our God video, everyone.
Yeah.
But it's not a specific, obviously, image of God. But do you pray to the universe, or do you literally just
I ask
picture people as
I picture
you pray?
people, like when I'm praying for people, but I also pray for myself, but like it's also it's praying for protection and care and opportunity. Opportunity and the ability to like do something with my life and be of service to other people and be creative and be helpful and be kind to other people and to really work on myself so that I can be better for others, right?
Yeah.
I don't imagine like God or the universe or anything like that. I kind of like feel it more so. It's more of like a feeling rather than like...
that's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
cool.
feeling like energy, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like picturing, say, you, and then sending that energy to you.
What's the biggest change you've seen since you started praying?
I'm not always thinking about myself. Because I'm self-centered, right? I think a lot of people are in the sense...
We all are, yeah.
Right? Where it's like all self-consuming, oh, poor me, right? And it's really allowed me to be like, okay, like, there's empathy and sympathy and compassion for others, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the center of the universe. I'm here to serve. I'm here to be part of. And it's really helped me change the way I look at the world and stop looking so inward and look outward more.
To be fair, I don't know if I would be praying right now if you, Alex, didn't pray.
Yeah.
Right? And sort of like talk to me about prayer and what it does for you and stuff.
Like, how does that make you feel now? Like, that you're practicing it, it makes you grateful?
Yeah, because I'm not, like you said, I'm not like completely focusing on myself.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the people that I care for, sending them love.
Yeah.
And doing that makes you realize how many awesome people you have in your life, how much you care about them.
The acknowledgement and a bit of gratitude for the people in your
Yeah.
life and what they're going through, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest thing people need to get over in terms of praying? Like, what do you think is the biggest hang-up and why people don't do it?
I mean, I've only recently been praying for a couple years, right? So I think the biggest hang up for me, in my experience, is that I think it's religious. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like, oh, I have to pray to this God in the sky, just like the God video we talked about. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like a religious practice.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many different ways of praying, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many ways of acknowledging. It's not religious, it's just acknowledgement for other people.
So when you pray, do you think that it has any bearing on what actually happens? So you said obviously you pray for your grandma's eye. Do you think that your prayers do anything to help her?
Yes. My mom has this like little plaque she's always had on her wall. It says prayer changes things, and it's like, it's super true. Like, when someone says pray for me, it's because they believe it works. Or like, I prayed for my grandfather when he was sick, right?
Yeah.
And he got better, right? Like, I don't know if that helped. I do it anyways because I believe, like, if it does help, then awesome, right? Like, I
If
think,
you don't do it, you might miss out, but if you do it,
yeah,
you're not going to miss out because you've done it. So if it works, it
If it
works.
works,
If it
great.
doesn't,
yeah.
you've covered yourself just in case.
Yeah, it's like covering my bases,
Yeah,
right? It's like,
100%.
okay, I'll pray for them just because,
case it works.
just in case it works, right?
Yeah.
And if I believe it works and I do the action and results happen, like, I don't know if I had anything to do with it, but I believe that, you know, my acknowledgement does help. So
Yeah.
I think you do it despite what you think. Half
Yeah.
the time you just take the action and you hope for the best for other people, right? And it can't hurt, right? Like, I don't think it can hurt.
No.
So you obviously can't like measure if prayer actually does anything, at least not yet, like scientifically or whatever, prove it.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you pray for somebody and then they're like, oh my God, this happened to me. And you're like, oh, I prayed for that. And it's like really crazy. Definitely not a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
So like you said, I would rather pray for people, not know if it does anything, but if it does, at least I've got it covered. Like instead of not praying, right, and say your grandma's eye gets worse and it's like, oh, I should have prayed for her.
Yeah.
Right? Just pray every day, whenever you get a thought or whatever, whenever something's happening, then you're covered. If it does anything,
Great.
great.
If it doesn't,
if
whatever,
it doesn't,
but at least you did it.
It can't hurt, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy's out in the abyss. She's found a rope. Whee! No! Get back to your rock.
Just to let you know again,
Yeah.
prayer isn't just for religious people,
No.
okay? You don't have to have a religion or a faith or any of that to literally just think of somebody that you love and send them a nice loving thought. Right?
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
it is.
That's all it
That's
is,
all
right?
it
It's
is.
just acknowledgement of
Yeah.
other people, right? So comment down below. I'll add you to my prayer list.
Yeah.
You know,
Let us know if you try praying.
yeah, and don't knock it till you try it. Give it
Yeah.
a shot, right? How's it gonna hurt, right?
It's not gonna hurt,
It's
that's
not
it,
gonna hurt,
right? It's not
right?
gonna hurt, so.
So send us some prayers. We'll send you some prayers. Let's all get along. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I was praying so hard there that you didn't fall.